everybody, it's Jason. Yeah, I'm back. Oh my god, I'm back. Where the hell has the time gone? First of all, guys, I just want to say to you that I'm really sorry for just not existing for a few months. The reason being that a couple of weeks after Charing Cross, that cold kind of got really worse, and then it kind of went away, and then it came back again in the form of another cold, and this just kept happening. And it was mostly kind of laryngitis, so I could not speak at all, and it was horrendous and horrible. And then it still took me a couple more weeks to recover after that, and I still technically have it a little bit, but I'm thinking, Jason, geez, it's almost Christmas and you haven't done a video since forever. So, I need to do a video, so here is a video. Today is quite an important day in that by the time this video comes out, I'm going to be 27. This is the day before my 27th birthday, and Kitty is meowing like hell. What the hell is going on with that? But yeah, the reason why this is important is it's been just over a year since I've been living full-time as male. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am still pre-T, being that I'm going to be on T sort of May, June time, because with the NHS, if you don't know, there is a very long waiting time to do this. So essentially, from the day where I realised I was trans until I go on T, it's going to be about 2 years. But the fact that I've been now living as a man for a year, even though I haven't taken any hormones actively at all, there have been some subtle changes. And I think the reason, certainly for me, is because I finally stopped having to pretend that I was a woman and sort of do womanly mannerisms, especially in the job that I had. I had to be really stereotypical female, which I didn't want to do anyway, which I knew at that point. But even so, since then, there have been these rather interesting changes happen. The first one is going to be a little bit graphic. It's hair. I'm quite a hairy guy in general already, but there have been some other differences happening since starting to live as a man. So I've been getting some more chest hair, like more is starting to sprout where it has never done so before. On my feet as well, never ever happened. In particular on my face, I have been shaving it. Actually since before I started living as male technically, but even so, over the past year, it's really kind of, it's not kind of spread. It has maybe a tiny bit, but the main thing about it is that it grows back really quickly, which is kind of nice, but at the same time it's annoying because the hair on my face, it's not a nice sort of spread like a beard. So when it gets too long, it actually looks really scraggly and a bit ugh. And then my fiance's like, you need to shave your beard, you need to shave your beard. So I'm like, okay, I'll shave my beard. The most interesting thing, which I didn't think would happen, is that I personally think this might only be a subtle thing, but my brow, I think, has receded a little bit. It might be more profound because I've cut my hair, but even so, especially on this parting here, I think, sort of here, it has gone back just a little tiny bit. Or I certainly like to think so anyway. Another thing that I've noticed, and I think it's because I've become more used to living as a man, is my voice. And it's not my pitch because obviously I can only do so much with that, but I didn't really notice this until my fiancée pointed it out. And she said, well, if you listen back to a video from like last year, your voice in terms of how you do your sort of inflections and pitch is really different, which is really nice because as a singer and a performer, you kind of train yourself that, certainly in classical music, which is what I'm trained in, that, you know, the higher you go, the more dramatic it is. So you sort of get it wide in your mind that you have to kind of go higher in order to emphasize things, whereas at the minute I'm sort of varying the pitch, I think, a bit less. So my voice is kind of here as kind of like a constant, and then if I want to express something, my pitch kind of goes up a bit but also a big thing, which is apparently a male trait, is that my volume increases when I now emphasise, which is really cool. Another little thing as well, sort of keeping with the physical, is that I've kind of perfected a walk that's got a bit more of a swag to it than it used to. I didn't even feel like I had to kind of train myself. I just thought, well, I'm just going to walk as relaxed as possible, and it just kind of started like this, and since then I've just sort of got this walk down that I've always wanted to do but kept being trained not to do it. I remember when I got to a teenager, sort of 13, and my mum was like, okay, now you need to learn how to do the walk, and I'm just like, what the f is that? Yes, I'm still, what the hell is that? Because I never felt like I needed to do it, and now I realise why. A big thing as well with the mental stuff, obviously my anxiety and dysphoria have gone down since finally starting doing transition stuff, but also just overall, from sort of the start of living as a man, my confidence has improved so much. It's ridiculous. Like, I feel like I can actually say what I think now, for example when I'm at work or when I'm with certain people, and I don't feel like, oh, am I going to upset them, or oh, maybe I shouldn't say that just in case something bad happens, because I used to just overthink everything. Certainly in terms of the environment I'm in, and changing job has really helped with that as well, but at the same time I still feel like if I want to talk to my boss about something I can, or if I want to talk about something with, I don't know, some acquaintances, then yeah, I can. I definitely feel more relaxed. It's taken a while. It's only more recently, in the past couple of months, where my anxiety levels have really, really dropped. To be fair, they still sometimes spike, and it's very much to do with social dysphoria, especially when there's a lot of cis men in the area, or like at work in particular, when I'm surrounded by a lot of people who are almost certainly going to be cis. Sometimes it is difficult, but now that I've started actually putting things into effect that make me confirm, yes, I'm now actually going down the transition route, I'm not just waiting, my anxiety levels have gone down so much. I used to be so anxious going on the bus, because I think, oh my god, what does everybody think of me sitting here? And now, unless I get misgendered, for example, on the bus. But yeah, it's been an interesting experience so far. Obviously, it's been such a huge weight. I still look at T and surgery, obviously, and think, wow, it's such a long wait. And it does sometimes feel very, very distant. And I still, to be honest, have thoughts, not like kind of second thoughts, because that's not what they are, but more like my mind saying to me, oh, well, how can you be trans? How can anyone be trans, you know? Is it just a concept that's in our heads? You know, it's really stupid stuff like that. Just because I'm still waiting and waiting. Basically, in conclusion, the physical stuff has been slow and sure, and it's happened since I started living full-time as a man. The mental stuff, it kind of changed quite drastically after I started the appointments, and after actual changes were coming into place, like actual confirming things that my mind can go, oh yes, that's right, you are transitioning, rather than just kind of having this sort of mental sort of, yes, you're going to be doing it, you will do this, you will do that, and it's like, okay, you have done that, you have done this, and that. It's good to think about these changes and how they feel for you, definitely, and, you know, obviously the weight is so you can sort of definitely decide and blah blah blah, but as we all know, we pretty much will have decided, because we've been deciding for years and years and years and years already, and for me it's very much been at least 4 years where my gender has come into question. But there we go, so I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a bit shorter than I normally do, but in any case, we're going to have some more videos coming up in the future for Christmas. I hope all your Christmas craziness isn't too crazy, and I hope if you're in the UK that the snow hasn't been too insane for you. It's been super snowy and the road is missing. And I, of course, will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.